For GateWorld.net, I'm Chad Colvin, and I have the pleasure today of speaking with Mr. Alexis Cruz. Alexis, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We know your work on Stargate, and you were obviously an established actor prior to the movie. Could you tell us about some of the previous work prior to the original film?
Oh, prior to the original film, I was, I started off on The Cosby Show. That was my very first big gig as a guest star on The Cosby Show with Tony Orlando. It was a special episode there. And then I moved on to Sesame Street, and I did that for about 2 years. It was one of the older kids teaching the younger kids.
How old were you?
I was about 15 at the time. I did that for about 2 years. And then I was really, really blessed with having worked with Anthony Quinn in The Old Man and the Sea when I was 15 also. And that was just an amazing experience.
He's a legendary actor.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to be able to learn so much from him before he passed, it's just a fantastic experience. I was really blessed.
You have the distinction of being one of only 2 actors, along with Eric Avari, who were featured in both the original film and then also in those same roles on SG-1. How did your casting for the role of Skaara come about?
It was actually pretty funny because at the time I had been accustomed to working fairly regularly as a young actor. And at that time, I hadn't worked in about a year, right, up at that point. And I was getting very desperate. I was just going nuts. I didn't know what to do. Nowadays it's a little different. We're used to the up and downs, but at the time we weren't. And so I was desperate. I was taking anything that I could get. And my agent calls me up and he says, "Well, I've got this one part, this audition for a sci-fi movie. It's a low-budget sci-fi movie, and you would only have 3 lines, and they're not in English. And I really don't think it's worth it." And my agent thought very highly of me, and really wanted the best for me. It's really not worth your talent and blah blah blah. I don't think you should do it. But I said, I want to do it. I have to do it. I'm not doing anything else. There are no small actors.
You have to make a living.
Absolutely. So I decided to go in anyway. What the heck? I really had nothing to lose. So I think that that always ends up freeing you up a little bit creatively. And the whole scene was really a mime scene. It was a lot of physical work. And so I just decided to take that route rather than concentrate on, it's only 3 lines, let me say these 3 lines. I tried to work on all of the action and all of the moment and all of the life in between those lines. So I did that, and it worked out great. And the director, Roland, and the writer, Dean, loved it. I had no idea who they were at the time.
Right.
This was all like, yeah, whatever, independent sci-fi movie, yeah, sure. They fly me out to California for my screen test afterwards, and I'm like, this is kind of odd for a little low-budget picture. And I finally get the part, and they said, well, come down to the studio, and I want to show you around the production office. They show me around the production office, and I start seeing all of I see the art department and all the different designs and the stuff that they're working on. And of course, now having seen the movie, it was a spectacle. So I'm seeing all of this for the first time, and Dean Devlin's going, "Oh, and we have action figures for you." And I'm going, "Are you kidding me?"
That's a surprise.
Yeah. What? What kind of movie is this? And slowly it just starts unfolding that this is such a huge picture. And as we kind of developed our relationship and as the work progressed, my role just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which was their intention to begin with. They just weren't telling anybody, and they just wanted to find the right kid for it.